What is up, FBG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and welcome to episode 3 of the unofficial podcast for Genshin Impact, the world's #1 unofficial podcast for Genshin Impact, sponsored by Gamer Subs, GG Subs. Make sure you go ahead and grab yourself some GG Subs today, especially if you're farming for Kokomi. I know you're getting tired. Make sure you grab some GG Subs so you can stay energized, and they do have 3 brand new waifu cups. Make sure you grab yourself one of those waifu cups. They're extremely spicy, I do have to say so myself, as well as the merch. It looks fantastic and it feels great as well. So make sure you visit GG Subs, link in the description down below. Go ahead and click on that link, get 10% off everything in the store, and make sure you use my code at checkout, Further Beyond Gaming, so you get that 10% off. Also, in episode 3, we have a special guest here on the podcast, a great supporter of the channel, very knowledgeable when it comes to the game of Genshin Impact, and that is my good friend Khameo. Khameo, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. So the regulars of the channel obviously know who you are. Great, like I mentioned, great supporter of the channel. I am super excited to have you on as my first guest of this podcast. And we have a few things to talk about today, right? We have a few things that we have to talk about today because there's some really interesting topics, and we're going to get to that here in just a second. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about, obviously, first and foremost, we have to talk about the rewards and everything that's going on with that for the 1 anniversary for the community event. So I'm going to get your opinions on that. I'm going to also give my opinions on that as well. We're also going to be talking about Kokomi because she obviously dropped today. I know on the CN version, people are testing her out already, if I'm not mistaken, and getting that taken care of. So we'll talk about that in the banners, kind of get your thoughts because I gave my opinions on that already. And then we're going to talk about Abyss with the corrosion, you know, how that's going to affect certain characters and maybe what they're going to be doing here in the future. Kind of pick your brain on that and get your thoughts on it. So let's hop straight into it, man. So the rewards that we have here for the community event, I know a lot of people, they've been posting videos about it. You mentioned to me Twitter's on fire. They're rioting right now about it, and I think it's rightfully so, but I want to get your thoughts on this topic in terms of what we see here for the community event and the rewards for a 1 anniversary for essentially what is a gacha game at its core, right? That's what Genshin Impact is at its core. Give me your thoughts on it. What do you think about the rewards, or at least what's been laid out here on this community event for what Genshin Impact officially stated here?
Listen, when I first started reading the rewards, I had to get up, walk away from the computer, walk away from my phone because I was afraid I was going to break something.
and listen, I think a lot of people probably felt the same way. When I first saw them, I couldn't actually believe what was happening, and here's the reason why. I'm gonna get your thoughts here more in just a second, but the reason why I felt that way, and I think a lot of people felt that way, is because, like I mentioned earlier, Genshin Impact at its core is a gacha game, and you have a lot of players that have that gacha game background that came from that. Obviously, you have the players that didn't, because this game obviously broke the mold in what gacha games can do and what they are doing and what's probably going to happen in the future. But you have a lot of individuals or players that came from that gacha game background that experience anniversaries before in a gacha game. Holy smokes, I got a notification. Okay, if somebody subbed, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. That came out of nowhere. Anyways, welcome to the FBG family. So you have people that come from that gacha game backgrounds that experience anniversaries before, right? And anniversary, if you're not aware, anniversaries in gacha games are a way for the developers to thank the players for all their support for that entire year. And usually it's massive. You know, they do huge, I wouldn't say giveaways, but rewards. You know, 7-day logins are ridiculous. Discounted like multis and I mentioned this in the past before. I've talked about this, where like the premium banner, let's say for example this time it was the Raiden Shogun, you would have like a step up banner where it's like discounted, you get a free multi at some point in time. You get enough premium currency, in this case Intertwined Fates and Primo Gems, to get a free multi, or maybe even 2 free multis, because that's what anniversaries are. They're just a big celebration for the developers to say thank you for supporting the game for this entire year. here's this big bash that we have going on for you and everything that we have. And let me say this really quick, Khameo, before I get your opinion. I liked what Genshin Impact did with giving us Aloy for free, and I know other people are getting it in 2.2. Like, that's really cool. But outside of that, if I'm being quite honest with you, I haven't felt like this has been a proper anniversary for a gacha game, which Genshin Impact is at its core, like we mentioned. Outside of getting Aloy for free and some pretty decent events, which in my opinion they were okay, they were pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if I'm missing something. That's why I'm glad I have you here on the podcast today. So, Khameo, give me your opinions now. Let me hear your thoughts on the matter.
All right, so I come from a gacha game called Bleach Brave Souls, right? And the kind of stuff that we got for anniversary was like, we would get things like 10 free Maltese every single day on banners that had like seasonal characters that you could only get during Christmas or Halloween and stuff like that.
Right. And I don't mean to cut you off, but they do like tickets in there as well, right? Like they give away tons of tickets to just do polls on, right?
Yeah, definitely. They give you a lot of 4-star, 5-star tickets, 5-star tickets.
Right.
We got a 5-star ticket just for watching the anniversary live stream. Wow. And the thing about what I'm telling you right now is that's not even the anniversary rewards. That was the pre-anniversary rewards.
Right. And most gacha games do that. They do like pre-anniversary to get you all pumped up for when the anniversary actually drops. Yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah. So when I was looking at Genshin Impact, I wasn't expecting much, right? But I was expecting a little something.
Right.
This is not what I expected.
Right, and I agree with you. And we've talked. I think I might have talked about this on stream, and obviously we've talked about it in the Discord before as well. But I've experienced MiHoYo as a developer. I've covered their other game, Honkai Impact 3, for a little over 2 years. So I've experienced 2 anniversaries with them, and I've mentioned this in the past that whenever there was an anniversary with MiHoYo, at least in Honkai, anyways, because that's the only game I've experienced from them, it never felt anniversary worthy. And I always was kind of like, and I actually have videos on the channel, I think, speaking about it, where I was like, this doesn't really feel like an anniversary. It just feels like another update or another patch update, but it doesn't feel like anniversary. And I know the most recent ones that they had have been a little bit better, but to be quite honest with you, I still keep up with Honkai, even though I don't do content on it anymore. I still keep up with it, and it's still, when I look at it, it doesn't look anniversary worthy. For example, I come from other gacha games background. I played plenty of gacha games, Dokkan Battle, Blazing when that was a thing, Legends. And for example, Legends just had their anniversary that just went by. And Legends, they'll do step up multis. They give away tickets like they do in Bleach Brave Souls. They give tons of what would be their primo gems. They give tons of those away so you can do multiple multis in there. They give away whenever you top up, and I know we got the double top up, which I don't even know if you can call that like something that you should be excited to get, which I was, but that's coming from a whale standpoint. But in the top up, when you top up in Legends, and they don't do this just for anniversary, by the way, they actually do this all the time. But for the anniversary, when you top up, you get an item that allows you to evolve your character even further with additional stars, which could be correlated to like constellations, which I'm not saying that's what MiHoYo should have done, but if they allowed you to obtain an item, and this is anniversary I'm talking about, not all the time, but for anniversary, once a year, if they allowed you to obtain an item that allowed you to select one character to unlock the constellation on, I think that right there would have been super satisfying for a lot of people anniversary wise, right? But definitely, that's just my background. But go ahead, Khameo, keep going.
And I think that's what a lot of players were expecting. At least 1 5-star from the premium. Just Jean, Diluc, Mona, even Chi-Chi, something like that.
Right. Or what they could have done, and this would have been amazing. I think people would have been ecstatic about this. I don't know why they don't think about this. you have the standard, essentially the standard banner, right? Why
Yeah.
not give away enough like tickets, once again, going back to tickets, give enough tickets to do a multi on that banner. I think just giving tickets away to do a multi on that banner would have been incredible for a lot of people. I think that people would have been super satisfied with that. Um, and I think that would have been a good way to be able to celebrate an anniversary is by being able to do that. Or when you do your pulls on, on the rate up banner, you get tickets to go towards the standard banner. I don't know. I think that would have been a good idea. But I'm looking at these rewards right now on the Hoyo Lab for this community event. And are you looking at them right now? Like, do you have them pulled up, or do you already have
Yeah.
them memorized? I
I
mean,
got
I don't know what's going on here from what I'm seeing. And so give me your thoughts on the message in time web event that you're seeing right now, which is from September 29th to October 7th. This part of it. What are your thoughts on this part right here?
I've heard a lot of people saying it in the community that this is basically a gotcha for your anniversary events. Or for your
Why
anniversary reward.
and let me ask you, and this is what I was thinking. Why is this a raffle? Why is this not just a login? Right?
Exactly. I don't know. This should be something that just is just given to us.
Exactly. Why is this a raffle? Why do we have to RNG this? This shouldn't be an RNG thing. This should be a login that I'm looking at right now. And I don't understand, like, for example, and what I say a login, so they have the Blessing of the Welkin Moon, and they have 100,000 Mora, and you have a 10% chance to win the Blessing of Welkin Moon. And let's be real, most people aren't going to win that. You have to be extremely lucky. Most people are going to win the 100,000 Mora. But let's be quite honest right now. 100,000 Mora, that's not anniversary worthy rewards, and it should just be in a natural login that you should get. And we shouldn't even have to be talking about a login for anniversary. A login should be something we should be getting in game all the time anyways. So I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother topic. This should be a login reward that you receive logging in for 7 days. It should be 100,000 Mora. I don't know, 30 enhancement ores, 30 hero wits, and then like I think enough primos to at least do a single.
Yeah.
Give me a single, and on like 2 separate days. So like the first day should be 100,000 Mora, second day should be what is it? 180 primos. Is that how much it is to do a single? If I'm not
160.
160 to do that should be the second day. 30 hero wits on the third day, and you see where I'm getting at. That should be how the login should be naturally just in the game, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and just say for anniversary, why is it a raffle? Why is it RNG?
Exactly.
I don't get that.
Yeah, when I look at these awards, I have never felt more disrespected by anyone or anything in my life.
It just it honestly it baffles me. And and come on, the Blessing of the Welkin Moon. What is that? What is that? Doesn't cost me Hoyo not a dime to be able to just give away Blessing of the Welkin Moon. Why is it a 10% chance? That should be the 90% chance. And the 10%, if you wanted to raffle anything, the 10% chance should be like, man, if I was doing it, like, I don't know, enough to do 2 multis or something. Like, I don't understand this. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's the first part. We haven't even gotten to the rest of it. That's the first part. So let's move down. All right, so we got past that. Now we have the anniversary congratulatory art repost prize giveaway. Now this is for obviously for doing fan art and stuff like that, which that is what it is. But look at the event rewards. Khameo, what am I looking at right now? What is this?
This is one of the iPhone.
The iPhone 13 Pro Max, 3 of them. Why?
And it's just I don't know. This.
What are your thoughts on that? Give me your thoughts on that.
I mean, it's something, but it's just three, and it's just the art community, and you're basically promoting their game for them to get it. So they're saving so much money. So of course they can give you an iPhone 13.
Well, they made billions of dollars as well in their first year.
Yeah, exactly.
So
In the first 6 months.
they literally probably could have gave their whole entire player base iPhone 13 Pro Max. Anyways, the thing about it is that you're giving away, which I get what they're trying to say here and what they're trying to do. You can use those phones to play Genshin Impact. It's a great, on paper, it's a great reward, but at the same time, for those iPhone 13 Pro Maxes that you're planning on giving away, that could have easily have been premium currency that you could have used in game to pull for Kokomi or future characters or weapons or whatever the case may be. That could have been used in game for premium currency. That's what people want it for, and you're only giving away 3.
Yeah.
3. Okay, so that's that. Go ahead. What do you got to say about that?
The thing about this and the other rewards is they're not necessarily bad rewards, but it's bad just to have them on their own and give nothing else to anyone else.
And once again, I have to harken back to, it's for the anniversary.
Exactly.
Anniversary for a game. You giving away iPhone, and this would have been this would have been fine if this was for, you know, the art reposts, and this was something separate. Like that's awesome. You know, give those people that do fan art an iPhone 13 Pro Max. Fantastic. That's a great prize to give away, but you can't lump that into that being the anniversary reward, because the anniversary rewards that you're giving away so far, from what we can see, it's terrible.
Trash. It's trash.
It's garbage, you know, for a lack of a better term. So now we're coming down to the second part, and it's like, okay, now you're giving away 13 Pro Max. Okay, so 13 Pro Max is great. 3 of them. All right, so let's see what the next thing is. Genshin Impact Anniversary Event, recording your anniversary memories. And really quickly, I have to preface this by stating that this is not to attack MiHoYo as a developer in terms of that's all we're trying to get out of it, is just to demean them. What we're trying to do here is to, one, present that your anniversary rewards are garbage. They're terrible. And I don't understand what anybody was thinking within MiHoYo. Secondly, this is to highlight that they need to do better across the board in terms of rewards. If we look outside of anniversary, rewards, no matter where it has been, have been just subpar at best, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, they just have not been great rewards. And now we get to anniversary, and it's much of the same. So I just wanted to preface it by stating it's not an attack on them. It's to highlight that the rewards are terrible in relations to any other game that you play, and we want you to do better. We want these rewards for the player base to be better, because we deserve better. We supported your game for a year. You've literally amassed upwards of over $1 billion. Mind-blowing. Let's keep moving on. So we have Genshin Impact Anniversary Event, recording your anniversary memories. Okay, so what do we got here? So we have, from the 28th to the 7th, event rewards, Primo Gems, 100, 1,000 winners. Okay. Not enough to do a single. Not even enough to do a single pull. But Khameo, can I ask you a question real quick? Why have 100 primos for 1,000 winners?
They're stingy. Clearly they're stingy.
Why is it 100 primos?
I think they put the zeros on the wrong spot. It's supposed to be 1,000 Primo Gems for 100 people, right. And even then, it's not that great.
Even then, it's not that great. And you could keep it 1,000 winners, but it should be 1,000 Primo or at least a multi. At least give people a multi. You couldn't even give them a single. You could at least give people a multi for 1,000 winners, and that would not have been too much. I promise you, that would not have been too much. Right. Okay. And by the way, you don't just get it. You have to access the event through the official Genshin Impact accounts on Facebook and Twitter. Like you actually have to go do things to get that done. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta work for it.
You got it. Yeah, you got to earn it. Now, moving on to the Genshin Impact anniversary events, let's solve word puzzles. This is the 7th through the 13th. Event rewards. Once again, 100 primos for 1,000 winners. And once again, you gotta work for it. You gotta earn it. Okay. And then we have the promise of a worldly encounter cosplay submission contest. So once again, this is kind of like the art, right? It's awesome that they're giving rewards to people that do fan art and that cosplay their stuff, because, you know, all of that usually does cost money. You kind of have to invest money into doing that for all those outfits and whatnot. But once again, it's like, what are these rewards?
Yeah.
What are these? I know what they were going for. They thought Apple AirPods. You know what this reminds me of, Khameo? This almost looks like, you know, those machines that you put like $1 in, and then the claw machine, and then you can move it around, and then you can try and grab something, but usually it doesn't work out because they're kind of bugged. This feels like I'm in a claw machine. Like, do I want the Apple AirPods, or do I want the Razer Death Adder V2, right? And I got the claw and I'm moving it around. That's what it feels like to me.
The race might even be better on that.
Yeah, you actually might have a better chance on that. That's the cosplay submission contest. All right. It's going well so far, right? So we have the anniversary events in progress, the promise of a worldly encounter photo submission contest. So this is a photo submission contest. And then we have a fan art submission contest, and these are all great. But once again, what am I looking at as the rewards, Khameo?
Yeah, I mean, these are all good stuff to have on top of actual anniversary rewards.
What am I looking at? What are these rewards, man? A 1-month subscription to Discord Nitro? And this is in the anniversary? For a game?
I think that's the first time I actually read that. That's actually funny.
Listen, this is fine for, like, if this was separate, if this was on its own, like, for example, if they came out of nowhere and said, hey, we got a photo submission contest, hey, we got a cosplay contest, hey, we got a fan art contest, these are the rewards, perfectly fine. But you're trying to lump this within anniversary events that, first of all, not everybody does cosplay, fan art, and photo submissions and all this stuff. I know I'm not going to be doing this. So that's first and foremost. I'm not even going to be able to see any of these rewards. And even if I did, the likelihood of getting it is extremely low. Secondly, you're trying to lump it into anniversary things that normal players of the game don't care about. They just want the premium currency in the game.
Exactly, yeah.
Trick or treat party themed merchandise set? A Paimon food themed blind? What is this? Alright, we're moving on. Fan art, another fan art submission contest, a video submission contest, all the same rewards. I
hope people are paying attention.
Khameo, I'm looking into this now. And the only thing that I see for normal players of the game that don't partake in any of those types of things is the web event, is a message in time web event.
Yep.
Where you get 100,000 Mora? Let's be honest, you're gonna be the 90%. You're not gonna, and even if you are the 10%, it's a blessing of the Welkin Moon? Not even the Battle Pass?
I hope people are paying attention, because MiHoYo is showing you exactly what they think of you.
I am actually flabbergasted. Is that a word,
You are.
Cameo?
It is.
Okay.
It is, and I'm also flabbergasted. MiHoYo sees you as a number in the database. If they ever need to refer to you by your name, it's either MasterCard or Visa. That's it. That's how they see you. And if you're not making them money, you're costing them money.
That's all you get to participate in is the first two web events. If you're just a normal player that doesn't do fan art or cosplay or anything like that, you get the great privilege of the first two events. After that, and the first event rewards, do they even display how much you get? It just says Primo Gems, Mora, Mystic Enhancement Ores. It doesn't even say of the quantity.
No, there's no numbers.
Yeah, I don't.
It better be a lot, though.
No,
At
it's
least.
not. If we have anything to go off of,
Yeah, no, we can't expect much from them.
I can't expect much. I can't expect much. And that's it. That's it. Now I had some, I've seen some things that people are saying, well, this may not be it. There might be more. Don't worry. And that's perfectly fine if there is, and I'll accept more, which I don't think there is. I think this is probably going to be it because,
Yeah, this is probably it.
we're coming towards the end of it now. But even if that was the case, what they're displaying right here still doesn't justify that this is hot trash.
Yeah. I don't know.
And players have the right to be upset about this. Players have the right to be angry about this.
Definitely. And the people who it affects the most is definitely going to be the free-to-play, because what could they have given the whales that would have been good, right? So we wanted a free character, right? But a lot of whales already have the characters, have them 5/5. Dolphins are pretty much in the same position. It's the free-to-play players who are really missing out here.
It's the free-to-play players, and it's the light spenders. It's the individuals that don't have the opportunity to be able to spend money, to be able to get the characters that they want. If you gave players, free-to-play players, light spenders, the opportunity to do 2 free multis, or give them the opportunity to have a step up where, the first multi is discounted, the second one's discounted, the third one's free, and then the fourth and fifth step is, regular, and then it goes back to step 2, or whatever the case may be. That allows free-to-play players that have been saving the opportunity to do more multis, do more rotations. If you gave away free tickets, if you gave away more primos, it benefits the players. It's saying thank you, players, for supporting our game for as long as you have, because if it wasn't for you, this game would not be where it is right now, always like trending, whether it's for better or for worse, made over $1 billion probably at this point, I'm pretty sure, after the Raiden Shogun banner.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah. In the comments down below, let me know your opinions, guys. Let me know what you all think about this. I did a community post as well, so you can vote over there. I already got quite a few votes, and I know what you guys are, for the most part, the majority of you guys are thinking. So, anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. So we have Kokomi. Her banner just dropped. I know people have been already using her in game. I'm jealous. She doesn't drop for us till what? You said 6 p.m., right?
Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m. Eastern. Probably. I don't know if I'll be going live for that tonight. I'll see. I might be able to do my polls, but I may be doing it the next morning live. But Kokomi's out. I haven't seen much about what people are saying. I don't know. Have you, Khameo? Have you seen anything?
I've looked, but I haven't really seen any videos, anyone talking about it much yet.
Okay. Yeah, neither have I. I've just seen some people going live and whatnot. but we have the banner. First and foremost, because I've given my opinions and my thoughts on not only the character but the banner. What do you think, Khameo? What do you think about the character Kokomi? Because I know she's been getting, a lot of flack, and those things will probably be put to rest here soon with people using her now. But what do you think about her as a character, and then her character banner, and then we'll talk about the weapon in just a second.
I actually like Kokomi. She's definitely a character I'm pulling for, but it's not going to be for the same reason that other people would want her.
Okay, what are your reasons for pulling for her?
I see Kokomi more of an investment into the future of Genshin Impact. I understand people are saying it right now that she's just a healer, doesn't do much damage, but I feel like in the future we might have something like raids and stuff like that where you would want somebody who can heal like that. And I'd rather have her now than have to try and get her later.
Right. I agree with you on that, and I think that is a really good way to look at it, because I think Kokomi offers, I think in terms of kit and what she's bringing to the table, I think she's offering something that, like you said, is kind of future proof. As in, I think healing is going to be very prevalent. Obviously, it hasn't been because the content hasn't been there. We haven't needed a healer to go ahead and be primarily needed on a team because the content hasn't warranted it, which it's gonna segue into what we're gonna talk about here next on the next topic. But I think we are going to be shifting here. And it may not be, well, it is kind of right now, but in terms of like not just the Abyss, just overall in everything that we do. And you brought up raids, which if anybody from MiHoYo watches, raids are something that we all want. That could be a thing as well. Because I don't know about you, I think it would be really cool if we had like a 9-man raid or a 12-person man raid, and we had to take on this extremely hard boss, and me being Kokomi, who's not only healing the team, so people are like, hey, clutch heals like I do, but you're also doing some pretty good damage, right? And you're applying the wet status consistently, so now you're helping people proc some elemental reactions. I think Kokomi is going to be an extremely strong, like Zhongli will be on a raid if we get those. Yeah. Especially if you have his constellation unlocked where he can place a shield on everybody.
Chi-Chi will finally be useful for something.
Chi-Chi, you'll see a lot of somebody. The thing is you're gonna go, if the raids happen and they're difficult and these characters are needed, you're gonna have people say, hey, listen, before we hop in, we need a Kokomi, we need a Chi-Chi, and we need a Zhongli. Like, we need those before we hop in here. Who's got those covered, right? And it's gonna feel really good to have that character. Now, I'm not saying that's why you pull her. That's obviously something that's we're not even sure is gonna happen. But if you have the means to, or if you're already planning on pulling Kokomi, then those would be good reasons to. And that's your reason for pulling her, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but as a general player for like right now, in the present, pull this character if you really like this character. Test her out first. I mentioned this all in previous videos. Now, what about the banner? We have 3 4-stars here. I gave my opinions on them. I think they're pretty pog. What do you think?
It was Jinkyu, Beto, and who was the third one?
Who's the thickest in the land?
Mona.
Touche. Who's who's close to her in the hips down department? 4-star.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh! Come on, Khameo. You're supposed to be cultured, man.
I should know this. I should know this.
You put culture all up in the Discord, man. By the way, a link to the Discord in the description down below. You should join it. Rosaria, man. I can't believe you.
Oh right, my bad.
Yeah, my bad. Right. So we have Rosaria, Beto, and Xingqiu. I think those are 3 incredible 4-stars that you can get.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my opinion, though. I think they're great, and I think they do synergize well with Kokomi. But what are your thoughts on those characters?
I think Beto probably synergizes more with Kokomi than the other 2, but all 3 of them are really good supports. I would I would definitely love to have more constellations on all of them. I know I'm missing one on beta. My Jin Q is 6/6, but I definitely would like some more Rosaria.
Right.
Um, for players, like yeah, this is a good. If you need support, this is a good banner to pull on.
Agreed.
Assuming your pity is low and you don't get Kokomi if you don't want her.
Right. Agreed. I think this is a great banner, especially for Kokomi wanters that were planning on going on
Yeah,
this banner anyways. I think they got a fantastic banner. And to me, it has tremendous value here. Uh,
yeah,
so I think they did a good job with that. Now let's talk about the weapon banner. And once again, I gave my thoughts on the weapon banner in my previous video. What are your thoughts on the weapon banner? Do you think people should be going in on it? What advice do you have?
if you're free to play, you should never pull on a weapon banner.
Right.
If you if you're someone who has the money to spend, the primo gems to spend, if you're willing to get the everlasting moonglow, actually no, even that I don't think it might be worth it because the only person who can use it is Kokomi, and if you're not gonna pull for Kokomi, then you're risking getting a weapon that you'll never use.
Exactly. Yeah, that weapon banner is pretty much, or not the weapon banner. That weapon, the Moonglow. If you don't have Kokomi, obviously you can slap it on other Catalyst users, but it's not going to be beneficial. So for the most part, that's
Right.
just going to sit in your inventory, just taking up space until a possible Kokomi rerun. The thing about the Moonglow is you'd want to make sure that Kokomi's secured. You have her in the bag before you do anything else. And if you aren't planning on pulling for Kokomi, as tempting as the Jade Cutter is, and I'll be quite honest with you, I think I might be going on this weapon banner more for the Jade Cutter than the Moonglow, if I'm going to be honest with you. But that's not the mindset you should have going in.
Right.
If you don't have Kokomi, then this banner is just overall just a tremendous skip.
Yeah, very easy.
Yeah, it's a very easy skip. As tempting as that Jade Cutter is, you're better off just not pulling and saving your primos and intertwine fates. Um,
It's definitely unfortunate that they put the two together, but I
yeah,
mean, at this point, you can't really expect much from MiHoYo.
agreed. Agreed. All right, so that's the weapon banner. All right, now moving on to the last topic, and that is the Abyss, the changes that are going on, what we can maybe expect in the future as well. So right now, obviously, and I believe this is still going on, right, with the corrosion, with the current Abyss that we have. When
Yeah,
when does that end? I don't even know when that ends.
the actual abyss or just
Yeah,
or duplication.
yeah, the Abyss.
Um,
Is
not
that
for a while,
next
I don't
week?
think. I actually don't even know.
Okay. Well, so we have the current one going on, and that is floor 11. It's very infamous now for the corrosion, which I will admit it was a lot more detrimental than I thought it was initially going to be. I thought I was going to be able to take a couple of DPS characters and hop in there and be able to DPS the enemies down before the corrosion actually took effect, and that certainly was not the case. So it definitely warrants having healers, and healers are now, they have use. They have a
Yeah,
place where you can put them on the team and they be useful. I dusted my Chi off. It's been a while, and she did great for me there. So with that being the case, and this being a thing now, obviously they did this because Kokomi, and it's a little more enticing to pull Kokomi now because of her healing. Um, is this something that we can see moving forward now, or is there going to be new mechanics that they're gonna bring out? What are your thoughts on the Abyss and the changes? And can we see this in like in the open world, like in regular events and stuff, not necessarily just Abyss? What are your thoughts on that?
unpopular opinion. I love the corrosion debuff. It's added a new way to play the game. To it kind of feels like a raid type of mechanic to have. So when I see stuff like this, it makes me hopeful for futures where we have raids in the future.
Right,
I hope we see it more in the open world because everything in the open world is way too easy,
right,
especially when you have shields.
right.
Yeah, I think I honestly think it's a good change. Um, th- I haven't gotten to really experience it yet in Spiral Abyss.
Hmm.
I stopped at the beginning of Chamber 11 because I wanted to have Kokomi when I went into it. I do have other healers, but Kokomi seems like more fun, more of the character I'd want to build to have. I don't want to build another healer that I'm not going to use later on.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, and I agree with you. And this and people, a lot of people that play Genshin Impact may not realize this unless you come from the Honkai background. Once again, harkening back, this is actually something that MiHoYo has done in the past, and this is actually something that has been in Honkai since the very beginning, where Honkai has an abyss, and they had this. It was in Honkai in the early days when it was the abyss. It was a temperature, and once you reach a certain temperature, a certain heat level, it'll start to deplete your health. And the higher your temperature got, the quicker your health would deplete. So you would try and beat the abyss as quickly as possible, so that way you literally don't melt. And this is what I see them implementing in Genshin Impact right now with this, what they call it, a corrosion effect right now, which I do like it as well. I think it's I think it's a mechanic that now you have to be a little more strategic in going into the abyss. It makes it a little more difficult. Um, you can't just go in there and just unga bunga everything and be perfectly
right.
fine with your DPS characters. You now have to have, a support. You now have to have, a DPS, a healer. Like, these things are now relevant, right? Whereas
Yeah,
before they were just kind of sitting on the bench,
yeah,
not doing anything. So I like that as well, and it's cool to see different mechanics because it switches things up and it makes it a little more interesting.
yeah, and that's the way it should be because a game that has healers should need you to have healers.
Right. Exactly. You shouldn't have healers in a game, but there's no content that requires them to be there. Right.
I feel like it was a misstep by MiHoYo in the beginning, making the game easy enough to the point where you could just brute force through everything. I don't think that's really what they wanted. So I feel like bringing corrosion is a good way to kind of scale that back.
Right. And I think they messed up earlier on where they tried to make shields too relevant because they wanted you to pull for Zhongli and they wanted you to have Zhongli, and
Yeah,
shields quite literally trivialized all of the content in the game, and
everything. Yeah,
it still does to this day. Um,
yeah,
you could literally pop a Zhongli shield and now not have to worry about anything. And I think that's where MiHoYo messed up because they do these things where they have this premium 5-star character and they want you to pull for them, so they make a mechanic in the game that makes it extremely relevant and enticing to pull that character. For example, what we have going on here with Kokomi. So at that time, it was shields, and everything was shields. They had Jinyan with the shield, Diona with the shield, Zhongli with the shield. It was the shield meta, and then you pop the
yeah,
shield on, and you don't have to worry about anything. And it quite literally made every content easy in the game. But with this corrosion effect, obviously shields don't matter now to an extent. Um,
yeah.
and now healing is going to be pretty prevalent, at least for the most part. If you want to get through floor 11, I think you need a healer. I'm sure there's somebody that got through it without one, and you could maybe DPS it down. Um, but it makes it a lot tougher, and that corrosion is pretty detrimental. So having that healer is good, and once again, I do like the corrosion aspect of it as well. Hopefully they introduce newer and different mechanics as well, and this does open the doors to raids and different things that can make the game a little more interesting, a little more strategic. It's not so mind numbing to where you just kind of autopilot everything with what you were doing before. You now have to, get proper rotations and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I like that aspect as well. So anyways, guys, that was the episode today. I do hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you liked what you heard here. And once again, keep in mind, if you're still here, this is all opinions. This is what the podcast is all about. Kind of shooting the shit, sitting down, talking Genshin Impact, like if we were friends on the couch, just talking about the game. So I appreciate you guys being here. As always, let me know your opinions down below. And Khameo, it was an honor having you on the podcast today as the very first guest ever on this podcast. So it was
Thanks for having
amazing.
me.
No, it was amazing having you here. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. Would love to get you back on, and get your thoughts on other topics and stuff. So we'll definitely have you back on for sure. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Everybody, remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys. Until next time, it's your homie Cody, and I'm out. Bye, guys.